So what does my training look like for the next 8 weeks? Had to work out the best way to use those 8 weeks to ramp up and taper for the race. Morning! Welcome back to the channel and another ultra cycling related video. Hope you're all well. If this is your first visit, my name's Andy. I'm an ultra cyclist on the south coast of the UK. It's pretty windy today, so I won't be taking my hands off the bars very much, that's for sure. But right now, riding through one of my favourite places to ride. I did a video a little while ago, if you watched that. This is the New Forest. Absolutely beautiful here. I never know how much the wind comes across on this, if you can hear it or not. But it is blowing a hoolie. It's very windy. I don't think I've ridden through the New Forest this early in the day. I ride here from Portsmouth usually. So it's mid-afternoon, something like that. It's much quieter. Really hear all of the birds in the trees and the wind through the trees, and that's why I love riding my bike so much. Being out in nature. Driving a car, even on a motorbike, you got a helmet on, full face. On a push bike, you're really out in the nature. I mean, look at this. So cool. I think I mentioned last time I was here, those are ponies, not horses. I believe they're all cared for and privately owned, and they just roam around the whole of the New Forest. Cards for this weekend, the whole weekend. I've got a bit of a challenge on my hands. So the challenge across this weekend is, it's a pretty mundane one really, but really essential, but pretty important. On top of that, I mentioned last week, I'm 8 weeks out, at the time was 8 weeks out from my first race, which is All Points North in May. Now it's 7 weeks. Had to work out the best way to use those 8 weeks to ramp up and taper for the race. So I'll go through that too shortly. Right now I'm climbing again, so put this away for a minute. this road, I believe, is known as the runway. I think it's an old World War II runway. Not too sure, but it's high, exposed. Normally, every time I come through here, I've got a raging headwind. Today, the storm that's rolled in is on my back. It's lovely. So I'm going to enjoy this. The highest, most exposed point on this ride. Don't think there'll be any hailstones this time, that's for sure. The challenge this weekend, I'm basically trying to keep the wheels from coming off my training plan. Juggling this kind of training and a personal life can be pretty tough. It doesn't have to be. It's just trying to find the right balance. But this weekend, me and my group of friends I've known for decades, we're all turning 40 this year. So this weekend, we have a joint celebration. The wives and partners booked some accommodation with hot tubs, and we're just gonna chill, have a few drinks. But I still need to train, really. So it's a challenge. And the way I decided to tackle it was to bring my bike. It's 40 miles from my house. So that's a 40-mile ride here, a 40-mile ride home. And then, little did they know, they booked accommodation right on the doorstep of one of my favourite places to ride. So it's perfect, really. So, had a few too many shandies last night, a little bit tender today, but still managed to crawl out of bed 7 AM, get out for a ride, hopefully, before too much happens back at the lodges. I kept that a little bit quiet until we were here, but I think they knew. I'm bringing a bike, I'm probably going to go out for a ride. A couple of them watched some of these videos, so I'll be back soon. I was only joking about washing my bike in the shower. I wouldn't do that to you. So I managed to bring no food, that's great. I bought a few bananas, which got me here yesterday. So I'm about 3 hours into this ride roughly, and it passes a cafe that I've been to quite a few times. Do a really good breakfast stack called a triple whammy. So that's looking pretty tempting right now. My birthday, by the way, is not till July, so don't go too crazy with the well wishes just yet. My birthday's the 25th of July, and the Transcontinental race starts about 3 days before that. So I'm expecting that my 40th birthday, I'll probably be riding this bike somewhere through Slovenia. Can't wait. So what does my training look like for the next 8 weeks? I get asked about training a fair bit. I mean, I am just an amateur, pretty dedicated, but my training is very regimented, but at the same time it's really flexible. It really depends on the needs, how my body's feeling. Generally I will project ahead quite far in advance what my training looks like and do my best to stick to that, because that's what works. Consistency is one of the most important factors. So a while ago I have a wall planner in my kitchen, and I wrote on it, counting backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That way I can plan my 4-week training blocks so that the 4th week is always a rest week, and then plan it so that that rest week lands on the week before the event. So I have a rest week going into All Points North in 7 weeks. And alongside that, I've been trying to increase my volume over time. A little while ago I increased my Thursday workout to 2 hours instead of 1. So I do an hour threshold on a Thursday with half an hour endurance either side to warm up and cool down. During the week, I'm doing the same, except my Tuesday workout, which is normally just an hour of zone 2, I'm increasing that to 2 hours zone 2. Sorry, excuse the ponies. Yeah, increasing that to 2 hours, zone 2. My midweek sessions over the last couple of months have gotten up from about hour and a half maybe to about 4 hours. So that's really going to help. Building up the volume and some longer threshold sessions will really help during the week. You can tell I've turned into the headwind now and it's pretty brutal. Getting a bit hungry, so cannot wait for that cafe stop. I'm not feeling brave enough for that. This should be fun. This climb is brutal and I am hungry. Brunch. The weekend training, that's starting to look really exciting now as well. No limits on distance, heart rate, anything like that. I'm going out for some big rides and I'll just be trying to manage the fatigue as I go, really. This week, more of a challenge. Rather than doing one big ride, I'm doing a few small ones. I'm still expecting to do about 150 miles this weekend, something like that. But in the coming weeks, I've marked a couple of weekends out, roughly in the middle of those 4-week blocks, where I've just written bivvy on the wall planner. Those are going to be good chances to get my body back into bike packing shape. I'll probably go out, do a couple 18-hour days in a row, something like that, with a little bivvy in between. Try to find somewhere to sleep rough in a bivvy, 3-4 hours, and then crack on. And I got a couple of ideas of where to go. Not too sure yet. The main thing is, I've penciled them in, so I'll make sure I do them. Still only the start of April and the weather's pretty poor really, but I'm ready for some adventures now. I've had enough of waiting around, so if I make a start soon, I'll get as much in this season as I can. So that is how the 8 weeks is going to pan out for me. Quite a steep build and then taper off right into the event, and probably that last endurance ride on the 7th week will be a shorter one. There's really not a lot you can do 10 days out from an event other than rest. I can tell you, when you've got aero bars and you're comfortable using them, riding into a headwind, it's far less soul destroying. I just pulled into a farm shop I've been to a couple of times before. And amazing food. And I think it's safe to say this is no longer a fasted ride. Currently 50 miles in, so it's a fair bit fasted. I don't do a whole lot of that normally, but 8 tons yesterday. So that's plenty of fuel to get me through the first hour or two. If I stay in endurance heart rate zone, I can generally go for quite a while without food. In some cases, it's not bad training for fat adaptation, but when it comes to fasted riding, do your own research. I better get back, I think. I plan to be out for a few hours. So far I've been out for about 5, so I might be in a bit of trouble when I get back, maybe. Look at this place. How could you not bring a bike and disappear for a ride? And anyway, sometimes it's better to beg for forgiveness than to ask for permission. Anyway, I better push on. This headwind is brutal. I'll probably leave it there, folks. Thanks a lot for watching again and putting up with my drivel, as always. Massively appreciate it. Still have more riding to do this weekend, and the storm that's coming in has a name. You know it's going to be a crap weekend when they give the storm a name. Storm Kathleen. Thanks, Kathleen. More riding to do, but it's quite boring miles through Southampton, and you don't want to see that rubbish. And right now, I got more celebrating to do. But that said, I might have one less shandy tonight. Probably a good idea. So hopefully you all stay happy and healthy. I'll see you on the next one, which will be an epic. Next weekend is the first of my pre-planned bivvy nights. So I haven't decided where yet. I might go to Cornwall and back or something like that. Don't know. But keep your eyes peeled. I'll see you on the next one.